Hello and welcome to Coffee Chat with Jody. I am so excited that you're here. It is the beginning of a new month and it's February. So grab your coffee or tea, whatever you drink, and come chat with me today. It's going to be exciting. So for the month of February, I have decided to really dedicate it to you, into self-love. Now, seeing that we're in the self-love club, self-love is really a component of everything we do in here. But it's such a short, simple word, self-love. And sometimes we kind of get lost in those two words and don't really understand maybe what that means or how deep and powerful these two little simple words are. So this month, I really want to focus on self-love and us loving ourselves so deeply. So I'm so excited that this first coffee chat is about unconditionally loving ourselves. It is pretty much everything I personally think that self-love is. Self-love to me means loving ourselves right here, right now, unconditionally loving ourselves. So let's talk about unconditionally loving ourselves. That means to really love who we are right here, right now. It doesn't mean that when I get the job, I'll love myself more, or I'll love myself at all, or when I lose X amount of weight, I will love myself. There's great things to thrive for, or to goals to have. It is healthy to lose weight, unless you're really, you're at the line of not, you're just obsessed with losing weight. Uh, but being a healthy weight is about self-love, if we look at it that way. But if we're shaming ourselves, putting ourselves down, and not loving where we are right now, we're now abusing ourselves, beating ourselves up, and we turn into our own worst enemy. So I have a cute little story to share with you. The other day, I was putting my daughter to bed, and I was kneeling down beside her bed, and she looked at me and she's like, "What's that?" And she pointed to a pimple on my chin. And I said, "It's a pimple." And she's like, "I love pimples." She's 4. Because I have a pimple, she loves it. She looks at me unconditionally, flaws and all. We grow up thinking like pimples are horrible. But to her, because I have one, she loves it. Children look at us unconditionally. Now they reach a certain point in their life where they have their own opinions, or worse yet, they've been put on other people's opinions on them about themselves and about others. And then they detach themselves from this self-love, and then they show up differently. But look at a young child. They love you unconditionally. They love you if you get mad and frustrated. They love you if you mess up. You forget their coat at home and have to bring it later. They don't hold it against you. You know, we're human. And they just look at us with like so much love. That's all sorry, cat hair or something on my face. They look at us with so much love. So much love. So what would your life look like if you started looking at yourself like a 4-year-old or a 2-year-old self looks at you? Like imagine your mini you looking at you. What would you say to yourself when you were little? So just treat yourself with love. And now that sounds so much easier than it is. So throughout the whole month, I really want to break down self-love and really just take it to a deeper level. And that is actually one of the reasons I picked this book of the month. The Power is Within by Louise Hay. Now, at first, I picked it because I thought it would go really well with our self-love club for moms. And then I started reading it because I have been on my own self-love journey, and I was like, I'm going to read it. Obviously, it's a book of the month. I'm going to share what I learned, and I didn't know how much more I'd have to learn. And then I realized that is, in essence, shutting me off from amazingness, thinking I have nothing more to learn. So as I'm reading this book, she talks about how she loves herself more every single day. Just because I love myself and I'm happy with it. Now, there's definitely days where I have moments where I'm like, why? Why am I having, problems with losing weight or, just different things, beating myself up. But we can love ourselves more deeply every single day. And that is the beauty of this. So loving where we are, having an idea of where we'd like to go, and just loving ourselves through that journey, through the process, through learning, through falling down, letting ourselves to pick ourselves up and keep going. It's loving where we are right now. And I actually would love to share a little thing she wrote, and unfortunately it's long, so I couldn't memorize it. But I just want to read what she wrote, and I thought it kind of links with what I said before too. Can you remember the last time you were in love? Your heart went, ah. It was such a wonderful feeling. It's that same thing, the same thing with loving yourself, except that we will never leave. Once you have your love for yourself, it's with you for the rest of your life. So you want to make it the best relationship you can have. And I've said something similar before where the longest relationship we'll ever have in our life is with ourselves. So let's make the best of it. And I've done this, so there's no shame or guilt or anything in here and blame. It's just realizing where we are and being okay with it. It's where, maybe you have a love-hate relationship with the scale. You get on and your day doesn't go so great because you got on the scale and you gained 5 pounds. Or the next day you're like, woohoo, I'm down a pound. I've been that way where I used to jump on the scale every day. I now do not do that. I obviously know I have weight to lose. I can see, and I need more energy, or I would like more energy. And that is the reason I work out. The mirror myself can tell me when I'm at a really good weight. I don't need that scale. The thing is, imagine you had to tell your 2-year-old or 3-year-old daughter, tell your daughter to get on the scale in the morning and say, is today going to be a good day or a bad day? Where in your life do you keep beating yourself up? If you fail, are you constantly just saying, oh, I'm not good enough? Or say you're not like the perfect parent. And what is the perfect parent? Being a mom is so hard. Why do we have to constantly put up these high expectations? Our children love who we are. They're not expecting a superhero mom. They're expecting us to show up. So when we show up in a loving way, we cause this ripple effect. Our children feel it, they see it, so we can have a great example for them, and they can start loving themselves unconditionally. We can now love our children unconditionally. They can show up as they are. And a really great practice is loving our children just as they are. Their behaviors are not who they are. It's something they did. So it's kind of a unattaching who they are and what they're doing. And to know that regardless of what they do in their life, they matter. But we have a hard time doing that for our children if we can't do it for ourselves. Or if you're a super rocking star and you can do that for your children, reflect on that. How and why can you do that for your children, but you can't do it for yourself? So it's just a really great, amazing thing. So I look forward to this month where we can just really deeply look at self-love, those 2 simple words that have built this club of moms. And what does it really stand for? I would love to hear what you love about yourself. Make a list. Share with us what you love. What are those things that you've had a hard time maybe loving that you finally love about yourself? And really just look at yourself through the eyes of love and to see how amazing it is. Maybe even just try it for an hour and then extend it to 2 hours, then 3 hours, and only Give yourself loving thoughts. As a parent, we really try to love our children and, give them hugs and encouragement. And then we fall short on ourselves. Maybe we're beating ourselves up because we sit down in front of the TV for an hour. And we're like, oh, I'm lazy. Instead, it's like, maybe I needed that break. But let's get up and go do something now. Just looking at things completely different. And it's amazing what can happen when you really love yourself and you look at things differently through love. Working out is now not, I need to lose weight, and it actually becomes more of a habit, working out and doing and eating healthy, because if it comes from a place of love instead of urgency, guilt, blame, shame, and all those emotions, and then they actually just make us even feel more guilty when we don't follow through. So it's just this fun, well, not really fun, spiral. So it's really just start looking at your life through love. Do things out of love for yourself, for your children, and for all. And it's going to be incredible what happens in your life. So I really look forward to this month. And please share if you're reading this book, The Power is Within You. It is an incredible book. Like I said, I thought I knew. I was like, I thought I wasn't going to learn anything. Boy, was I wrong. And when we do that, we really do stop ourselves from really growing and expanding. When we think we have all the answers, when we think we're at this place of, the end, the done, and we're not. This is what life's about: just learning, growing, getting to know ourselves better, and even loving ourselves more. So if you, depending on what level you are with the self-love, maybe you're at the beginning of your journey, maybe, you've been doing this for years like me, it's okay where you are. Just love yourself where you are right now. It is absolutely okay to be where you are right now. Just give yourself a big hug. Comment below what you love about yourself. Let's stop focusing about all the things you don't like. Or if it's something that you really don't like, let's say it's weight. Turn it around. It's like, at least my body's showing me that I need to move more. And one of my things my dad always said was, because now he's been, blaming weight on genes, and I have decided not to even go there anymore. But he said, with us, it's so great that we actually gain weight when we're not eating well, because like there's skinny fat, and people that eat and don't put anything on, but then their insides. So we actually get to know when we're not moving and eating enough, because that weight is showing up for us. We need to change something in our life, in our lifestyle, and love ourselves more. So the ones that don't have the extra weight, it's showing up different ways. I know people that have like chronic headaches from not eating well and really low energy. So it's looking at what you have in your life right now and just spinning it into a positive way as best you can, and loving yourself through that process. So I am so excited. Next week, we are going to be talking about forgiveness and how important it is for self-love. Now, this is a newer one for me. This is something I have really just, in the recent little while, have discovered how important it is for self-love. So I look forward to sharing it with you. I hope you have an amazing day, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye for now.